Welcome back to another episode of the Youth Academy Crew here on FC24, where we are now in January of Season 2 in Premier League football. This is episode 50 of the entire series, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe as we are halfway close to 100. Whether or not we reach 100, honestly, I highly doubt it. But we now sit 15th after 18 games. Just a slight improvement of last season where we were in the relegation zone for a majority of that season, just fighting and just having a straight out dogfight, getting survival there. And today, as you can see in the background, if you can see it, there's a little bit of snowflakes. This is a winter update. I am recording this on the day it came out, the 6th of December. You probably won't be seeing this till the 10th or 11th of December. That's how far ahead I am. It's just not that far ahead right now. But in today's episode, we have Brighton and Wolves in the league, who are both behind us in the league. We also have Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup Round 3. They currently sit 6th in the Premier League, so that'll be a tough away trip there. We also have Villa, who's up there as well in top 5, top 7 teams in the Premier League at the moment. So we'll probably skip that game, play all 3 of these games, and go from there. And I did go ahead and send out new scout reports, and we can get a special scout report to start this episode off. We went to Iceland. I believe we went back to England, and then we went over to somewhere else. I think Greece. We went to Greece for some reason. I am still on the lookout for a decent midfielder. We have yet to really get one. I can only get them from the Youth Academy here. There's a lot of players here. That's actually an insane amount of players here for no reason. 1.2 million for Thomas Hansen. He's going to come into the Youth Academy. We'll see what he's about. 4.8 million for Owen Bartlett out of England. He's going to come into the team. I'm fearful that he's one of the defensive positions and not that midfield position. Hopefully kind of prove me wrong there. Let's go and see what the new boys are on the block. Okay. Let's see, Harris, he's a center back. That's 69 overall. That is great to see. Hansen, a 63 overall left back. That's fine. And then a 71 overall center back for Owen Bartlett. But he does have /CDM, so could he play CDM realistically? It will take him 34 weeks to do so. It will take him 124 weeks to turn into a center mid. He's probably more, honestly, a right back and the left back, because high and his crossing. And he's left footed, so he would be a left back. Kind of like left footed right backs. That's just annoying. Our team is in absolute turmoil. They are all down in the dumps because we have not been having a great season. And when you have a 90 overall card, you can kind of expect that. At 85, at 88, at 84 in Martins, at 86 in Sykes. If we don't get something going in this year, these boys might be going. And we just brought Santos back into the team. We just brought Matt Martins in the team as well. This is your starting 11 to take on Brighton at the Amex Express Stadium. We are in our first snow game of the year with Graham Scott, the head referee. Lino, Harry Kane, Gilmore, Kovalenko, and Martins gave away a penalty against, I think that was, I don't know what his name was, but it was against someone. But at least it wasn't Vasquez who gave away a penalty. It was a penalty given away last recording session. Actually, was it last episode? It might have been either last episode or the episode before that. But it's Harry Kane up for Brighton to take the lead, and he missed. He hits the post. It's 0-0 still. Cross comes in. Sykes will head it clear. It'll fall to Richie. Now Pons. Can we score on the counterattack and absolutely just crush them? Tackled. And then Ruiz over the top for Richie. He's going to have to get there before the right back. He doesn't. And the counterattack there is completely dead. Lino. Harry Kane. And it's into the back of the net. It's 1-0. Brighton do get that breakaway. After his missed penalty, he capitalizes on a poor defense. Defense. Sarmiento now. Sarmiento against Watts. Year-to-Bay. That's not a pen, ref. That is not a pen. You've got to be kidding me. That is never a penalty in a million years. Never a penalty. It's just shoulder work. Harry Kane. Chance to make it 2-0 right before half. And he does score this one. It's 2-0 for Brighton going into halftime. An undeserved penalty. That's just never a pen. Honestly, you could question the first one as well. I mean, I didn't really see the first one, but you could definitely question it. Harry Kane. Harry Kane has a brace. He wants his hat trick. Year-to-Bay is going to delay that just for a little bit longer at least. Now Santos on the ball on the left-hand side here. Can Santos try and create something? The boy that we have just brought back, he'll find Ponce now. Ponce can create some space. He'll find Ramos. Ramos into Ponce. Ponce, can you find the back of the net? You do. And we are right back into it. It's 2-1 with a good chunk of the second half left to go. Lino, Martins now into Sarmiento. Sarmiento into Martins. A shot blocked. It deflected into the path of possibly another Brighton player. Thankfully, Sykes did enough there. Just barely, but did enough. And we give the ball away anyway. It's Martins now on the ball. Martins on. It's still Martins. Watts almost giving away another penalty. He's just diving into stuff, and that's a beautiful goal from Sarmiento. And it's 3-1 for Brighton. And that wasn't Sarmiento, that was Luis. And just to add a little bit of insult to injury, it's 4-1. Anytime we lose like that, we always lose in big fashion. A 4-2 thrashing from Brighton. I would fire myself if I was an owner slash just whatever higher up. I'd fire myself because God, I'm awful right now. I've been awful this entire season. And it's partly to this team not being Premier League ready. Just looking at our stats, you can see why we are struggling. 10 goals, 7 assists for Richie. That's our highest goal scorer. Ponce is next up with 7 with 6 assists. Santos has 4 goals. Cordoga has 3 goals, and he's the lowest rated player in the starting 11, and he's outperforming Ramos, which is just actually, he's not outperforming Ramos at all. Is his name just first? No. How is he above him? That's interesting. But, I mean, this guy, he's outperforming, but Ramos hasn't been great. 4 assists. I think 1 goal is a free kick, honestly. Guzman is insane to have up here. Ruiz is insane to have up here. The team just is not doing good. Obviously, the morale is down massively. It's now to take on Wolves. We are still 4 points off of safety, which is good at the bare minimum. Here we go at the Molyneux Stadium. Time to take on Wolves. I believe we beat them last time out at home. I think we beat them. Or it was very close at least. Santos is at cam. Richie is on the bench. And Jacobson is out wide on the left-hand side. And Alvarez is starting at right winger. And we might be starting down 1-0. No, thankfully to Year-to-Bay. We are thankfully still 0-0 in the early hours. And Hoyland, Year-to-Bay with another great save. Corner comes in, and Hoyland! Is that Hoyland that got to it? It is. And I think he got over the top of Martins. How do you get over the top of a 6'4", 6'5" guy, and you're maybe 6'1"? That's just absolutely insane. How is this going into the back of the net? What is my keeper doing? He does get over Hoyland. He does get over Martins, I should say. Jorge was just jumping just to jump. I don't know where he's jumping, trying to win the ball. We're down 1-0 early to Wolves. Misery continues. Sykes into Ponce now. Ponce, a good touch there. And Ponce with the shot. And Ponce will level things up here. It's 1-1 for Wakefield. We level things up here. Slowly starting to grow into this game. Scovolson now. Scovolson, Hoyland, 2-1. They get the lead right back. Oh, that's I'm done. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. I want to play FA Cup. We lose 4-1 to Wolves. And this is the starting 11 for the FA Cup. We go ahead and promote Thomas Hansen from the club. He's already on his way to be a center defensive mid from a left back position. So he's going to fit into that role naturally. A different formation, a 4-2-3-1. Other than that, the entire starting 11 remains the same. Yurdabe, Sykes, Guzman, Watts, Ruiz, Martins, New Boy, Hansen, Ramos, Richie, Santos, and Ponce. We're hoping for a better turnout than these last two games, and honestly, since the last start of the season. Santos, Ponce now. Ponce, back to Santos. Santos takes the lead for Wakefield. It's 1-0. And we finally have a lead in the game. It feels like forever since we've last had a lead here at Wakefield. Back to Santos, no. Richie, over the top for Santos. Santos! Corner. Ramos on the Ponce header. Is that Sykes instead? It is Sykes. And it's 2-0 for Wakefield. And we have a 2-0 lead here over Nottingham Forest. Gonzalez. Rafael Ramos trying to end the game with the absolute bang, and he might do so because there's going to be a free kick near the top of the box. It's Ramos on the free kick. He might hit the wall. He hits the crossbar instead, and that's going to be game over. A 2-0 win over Forest sees us move on to round 4 of the FA Cup. And let's hopefully get at least somewhat of a lucky draw, aka not face off against a Premier League team, especially not a Big Six team. I want to make a deep run. I want to make quarterfinals. The only way we can do that is playing teams that are below us. I know Nottingham Forest technically are on the same level / above us, but win's a win, and we just got to move on. Charles Garcia has been sold to Celtic for $9.8 million. He was a player we would never use in, a player that just kind of was sitting on the reserves the majority of the season, actually the entirety of the season. So might as well just get the $10 million out of him that we can and just let him go to a club where he should start playing a lot more football. It's Villa at home. Obviously a quick sim to the top of the table. We win 3-0. We win 3-0 against top of the table Villa. Richie with the brace. Santo on the score sheet as well. And I think I have reached my breaking point with this guy. Rafael Ramos has been sold to Juventus for $144 million. He is gone. I've been trying to get rid of him. I was hoping a couple of loans would have sorted him out, but unfortunately did not. $147 million to be, in fact, 147.6 to be exact. But he is gone. A decent price. We could have probably got around 20, 30, 40, 50 million more, but he's gone out of the club. And Alves will take his spot. Hansen position change from a center left back to a center defensive mid. He stays the same overall, which is honestly completely fine. But we are going to go ahead and just work on some of his other stats here, get him up there, and just start building him up. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. When we come back, we will have FA Cup action against Sunderland in round 4. Is there any big games that they are facing off against each other? It's looking like no. Man United, Liverpool. So at least one of the big 6 will be gone in round 5 if we can make it there. After that, we also have the scout report on the 1st. We also have Burnley, Newcastle, Brighton again, and then Leeds United as well. I will see y'all there. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.